Don't just tap out. Listen to Truth on Tap. DJ Bad Guy says so.
The Truth on Tap with host Kevin.
How can I say that my show is Truth on Tap if I don't come in here and set you free? Ooh, are we going to talk about some shit tonight? Get your friends in here. Get them in.
Opening up the Truth pipeline.
So what's this show going to be? Well, I'm going to set you free. That's what the Truth does.
For these bitches.
Truth on Tap.
WesJohnson.com. Check them out. This is crazy. Do you know I love pickles and peanut butter? I cannot get enough of that. Pickles and peanut butter is like an orgasm during an orgasm, if that's even possible. I couldn't imagine the biological possibility of it, yet the fantastical fantasy possibility is quite real.
My right to say how I say it's mine to give. My heart is mine to share. My soul's
Truth on Tap.
I am going to uncover the deepest, darkest parts of the human psyche right in front of you.
Truth on Tap is now flowing from iHeartRadio. Get your Kierstead fix by Googling Truth on Tap with Kevin A. Kierstead.
I could have fun with this guy, though. He's got a picture of his penis up there, and he guesses he's a black dude looking for a twink.
All the truth you can handle running hot on iHeart, Facebook, Spreaker, and more. You want the truth?
Feel the blunt force trauma of that during this show, yeah.
Don't tap out. Get the truth. Truth on Tap. Tap, tap, tap.
This cannot be 9:33 p.m. No, it just can't be. 9:33 p.m. on 10/21/2014. This is impossible. This is impossible. So we're checking right now to make sure the audio is coming through. You're not getting a grand entrance. Nobody's coming in hooting and hollering. I'm just making sure my shit works for now. So everybody come in, take a seat, and, pull out your asthma inhalers, because we're going to shove them up your ass tonight. See if we can get you turbocharged up in this bitch. Yeah. Testing. Not to be confused with testy. There we go. How's the audio? How's the voice? Is it loud enough, Andrew? Please, in the chat room, Andrew. My favorite Australian. Thank you, Grandpa Al. I can't. This is very difficult to listen to my show. There we go. Now I can think. Now I can talk. And that's what I was aiming to do. You're listening to George Linus's DJ Arcade Pulse. It's the George Linus remix, and I'm thinking, okay, you already told me in the title that you're the artist, George Linus. The actual artist was DJ Arcade, and the name of the song's Pulse. So you don't have to tell me you remixed it, because your name wouldn't be on another artist's work if you hadn't done something to it. Thank you, George Linus, though, because you know something in America? I think a lot of us do need that extra information, because we're not always very good at putting two and two together. Do you guys agree with me on that one? It's not that we're dumb. Well, it is mostly that we're dumb, but it's also because we don't think. There's something, we go to work and we think. When we're watching Jeopardy, we think. And then when we get in our cars, or we're reading news, or we're talking to a friend, when we go on vacation, something is lost. Something in the attention span and the intellect becomes thrown out of the mind like a burned up cigarette tossed away. Katapoo. What is that all about? Scary is what it is. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about how the human mind works, how it does not work, how it works with news, how it processes news, and what news does to it. I am making this shit up. This is a return show. This is a test show. This is a, I don't know.
Truth
it's a little fucking
Tap
party.
Is now flowing from iHeartRadio. Get your Kierstead fix by Googling Truth on Tap with Kevin A. Kierstead. All the truth you can handle running hot on iHeart, Facebook, Spreaker, and more. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth on Tap.
The output sounds a bit low to me. I think I'm going to stop the music for now. I want to go ahead and talk and be able to think as well, which will be a kind of a particular challenge tonight. We're doing things differently now. I've taken a break. I needed to reset my focus, if you will. It's not the right word, but it's the one I'm going to use. On the show, what am I doing with this show? How does it need to change? Every 3 months, you see, I come in, I change the steering, I adjust things. And after my last show, which I let get under my skin, just because Barco was being a little bit overly playful, I'm not going to focus so much on chat anymore. I think I think the show loses something anyway there. Any professional will tell you that if you get too involved in chat, then people that are listening to the show later, or people who don't know those people in chat, they feel disconnected. It's almost as if, you know how you feel when you're around a few people that you know, and a couple of them have inside jokes, and you're just like, okay, I guess you had to be there on all that. Well, that's how they push it 5%, no more than that, or it would skip. Andrew, I have you at 50% on the low, and it sounds great here. Not too loud, not too soft, very clear. Kev, push it 5%. I don't know what you mean by that, Grandpa Al. Push it 5%. If this isn't loud enough, let me know, please. I can probably do a little amplification. But anyway, and there are people that I have a lot of respect for, that I will always pay attention to in my chat rooms, even if other people don't know them. So, and those are the people that bother to come to my shows routinely. What they get out of it, I don't know. It's probably the product of what I get out of it, which is to be able to test my impromptu skills. It's a very fun way for me to quiz myself. You deserve more than that. You deserve more than a street musician who's just fucking around. You want a street musician who's out there playing tunes that sound good and really putting his heart and soul into it. That's going to get him the $2 tip. Well, I'm not getting your $2 tip right now because this is really an exercise in spontaneity for me. However, it is also a socializing tool. It is also a way for me to discuss my views with people without having to actually be in the same room with you motherfuckers. That works for me. That works for me. Liking the technology. You want to laugh? Barco forgot you guys made up after. Must be the booze. It is loud enough. Okay, great. Yeah, that's okay if you misspell my name, Grandpa Al. I bet your name gets misspelled daily, which it's supposed to sound like Kruska. Very Russian sounding, but it's not Russian. We're going to talk about topics in the news. I'm still, even after 11 days away from doing a radio show, I remain concerned about how we have not, as a people, caught on to the incredibly unfair thing that the news media does to get ratings. We've got to do this. And what we need to do, what we all need to do, and we need to spread this around, is find credible news sources and give them your money. Let them sell their ads on your watch, because that's what's going to reward accurate news and punish inaccurate news. Don't confuse news that you can trust with entertainment programming. They have a poll that came out today that said that Rush Limbaugh was the least trusted news source in America. But that same poll also said that CNN was the most trusted, which they got a rating of like something like 48%. with Rush Limbaugh getting like 28%. Okay, so even that's not good. Now, is CNN reliable? I think they try to stay balanced, but they end up leaning a little bit left. I don't know if they're... I don't think they're structured to push an agenda. It seems to me that I have a hard time detecting one. But you look at someone like Fox or MSNBC and you can just smell it. You can just taste this thing they're pushing. You can switch hosts, you can switch stories, but you still can smell it. It's still coming through like a fart through a weak pair of jeans. Hi, Paul Dembski. Welcome to the chat. Andrew's in there, my favorite Australian who gets the gold medal. And Grandpa Al Kruska, whose promo I do not have loaded yet. You guys have no fucking idea. So all day today, along with, part of the last 11 days, but all day today specifically, I'm all over the computer. I'm trying to get shit set up. And it all comes down to cable routing, virtual cable routing, and how that plays with a system that has a DSL connection. Because you can't take bandwidth for granted, so you got to get in and start doing the tweaky stuff. Oh my God, my brain is mashed fucking potatoes. I slept yesterday, but I didn't sleep. Like, I got up at 3 o'clock this morning, so yeah, that's not really working for me. Coming up on, whatever. I'm not doing that math. I was an English major. You guys can do the math. Speaking of English, had an English citizen, I believe, you never know on the Twitter, but follow me, just kind of suddenly out of the blue follow me, and I look, and it's this girl, and one of her recent tweets said, "My neighbors are loud and obnoxious. Now I know how Canada feels." And I thought to myself, I wonder if she really wanted to follow me. I am an American. I mean, aren't I loud and obnoxious? So I said that. Sometimes you have to ask the hard questions. I said, thanks for following me and everything. You do know I'm an American. And I replied on that particular tweet. I haven't heard back from her yet, but the Brits always have interesting things to say, and they're not afraid to say it either. So I think she will. I think she will respond. Guy Shea, DJ Bad Guy, you heard his promo at the beginning of the show. Make sure to check out his show, as well as Grandpa Al's show and Paul Dembski's, who is broadcasting on several different networks right now. That's a long story. I'm not going to get into that tonight on this show. But the short version of it is that Alan Wayne is opening up his channel for people that don't have the pro package or whatever, so they can broadcast longer than 30 minutes. Plus, it supports a random, he calls it the Random Radio Network. It would make sense to have random hosts on. So he's doing that. So I think that's gonna work well for him. What was I talking about the British and the American thing? I don't remember. Yeah, the first thing to go is the memory when je suis fatigué, and I am. Whoa. Okay, so yes, I'm learning Windows 8.1. I should have known it already. I do PC repair, so I need to know it to support my customers, but I have done just about everything you can do to make it look like 7, not because I like 7, but because I don't like change. Well, when it comes to interfaces, I just, if you got one that's working, I don't want to see a screen that looks like a swipe screen if I don't have swipe. I worked on a laptop the other night that had swipe features, and that would work perfect with the typical Windows 8.1 interface, but not for Kev. No, I went back to the Windows 7 look, but it does run better. It seems to me to be more efficient when I close. You ever get in Windows 7 or Windows XP or any of the older versions, and you try to close an application that's misbehaving, or you just try to close one in general, especially from the task bar or the task menu, and it doesn't. It'll say not responding. You try to close it again, then everything stops responding. You get that kind of thing. Windows 8.1, you click close, boom, it is closed. That was very impressive to me, because I always thought that an operating system ought to kind of be the boss on a computer. Wouldn't you say so? I mean, Windows 7, you're running, Skype. And you go to close it, and it says, this application is not responding. you would think Windows 7 would be the boss and say, well, this application's going to have to kiss my ass.